And hello again to Joe BRC, and this video I'm doing today is just going to be like an update video for a few little things that was going on that I've not told you about yet. Well, I've told you about them, but what I've done to them has been off camera. And the TRX4, I have got a few parts for that, so I'll show you those. Not many, so I thought I'd just update you on some of the other things as well. So I've got a few on the table in front of me here. So we'll spin the camera around and I will show you what's happened to a lot of the projects that I've done already and what's happening to some that are coming up. So like the Land Rover, lower Land Rover, I've adjusted that a bit, so I'll show you that and all the parts for the new one. So just get turned around and I'll show you what's going on. Alright, so here they are. You've probably not seen these in a while, and one of them has the cover off because I've been checking it over since. You can obviously see I've had a bit of fun with it a couple of times off camera. Sorry I didn't show that, but with the times at the moment it's very difficult to find somewhere that's quiet, surprisingly, and somewhere that I can film without looking like it's a little bit dodgy. It's not very, I don't feel quite comfortable filming while in a lockdown-ish sort of situation in this area at the moment. So it's been a bit sort of playing off camera to sort of test them out really. I'm making sure they run well and then I can get a real good video on it to show you. So let's start with the UDR. At the moment you can see, I don't know if you see that, I've got the radio box out because I've at the moment swapped this one out into that one because the radio controller I'm using has broken the screen so that I cannot see what car I'm using. So I've basically got it stuck on the UDR one, so I'm swapping the radio box out to make them work. So that's the first thing that's gone a bit haywire. Is the, I can probably show you that now actually. I got a little bit frustrated with it and it fell on the floor and broke. So you can see there, the screen's not good. But they're not massively expensive, so I might have to get another one of these unless I can figure out how to repair that. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to. It just means I can't check anything or do anything on the screen, so I've got it stuck as a real basic controller at the moment, stuck on UDR settings, which works on this one, but obviously you need to change it a little bit for whichever one you're using. But back to this, I will show you what I've found that's gone wrong. I took it out on a very aggressive run in a skate park the other day. Lots of jumps, lots of air. Really wish I'd filmed it because it was good. It really went well. Nosedived a couple of times, and if you're going to get anything for these, get one of these because this has stopped the whole front end getting smashed. And if I get it up close, you can see how much that front has been damaged and bent. I have actually reshaped that because it was fully bent back into here and totally buckled. I've reshaped it all, and also you can see there is a space here where there should be a drive shaft. That also went and didn't really break severely, but it did the typical, took the end off and the pins come out and it just, yeah. So the end came off, and I'm going to put the magical one from the back they give you and put it in for now, so that I can still run it. Apart from that, the tie bar at the front, I lost it. Came loose. These came off, and then the bar came out, and I lost the bar. I've got another bar, so I put another bar in there. So that didn't really break, it just came loose and fell out. And apart from that, nothing else has actually gone wrong with it. So solid, apart from the metal plate on the bottom here loose, solid unit. solid unit, that one. So I took it out and I was using it really aggressively, and it stood up to everything I did, including nose diving. I was coming down at angles like that, and nothing. It just bounced back up. I toppled it over about 100 times, and it's bounced straight back up, and it's been fine. I'll show you the body paintwork. It's not looking so good. It's yeah, I've lost a bit of the front, and yeah, it didn't take it so well. But we can get another one of those at some point. I'll probably just use this one as a basher, and just bash it more and let it break up if it needs to, and we'll have a sort of one that I can prance around with, and I can keep on there while I've got it on the shelf. But that one's that one for now. So that one's really good. Only a few parts broke on that one. Excuse me while I get in front of the camera and get in the way, while I put that one out of the way. And then the Jeep. I've had the Jeep out recently. You've seen most of the videos on this, but I did take it out recently in the snow when we had that one day of snow in England. I live quite low down in the country, so we only had a tiniest bit of snow. It was enough to go and have a play with this in the snow, and everything held up, apart from oddly exactly the same thing as the UDR. Drive shaft blew up, and I lost the half the drive shaft in the snow somewhere, never to be seen again. But apart from that, again, everything was absolutely fine. Nothing really wrong, apart from I was using the controller from the UDR, so the settings were all off. The steering was backwards. Yeah, everything was difficult to use, but it went well. It did what it needed to do, and it was tanking through the snow absolutely fine. So again, that one has been almost bomb-proof. I've had front drive shafts go where the steering's been too severe. I've had that drive shaft on the back go, or prop shaft, should I say? Either one, you know what I mean. But yeah, he's good. He's all good. I've definitely improved on this one when I've done the Traxxas. Maybe because of the design's better, but it does seem to be a neater package on the Traxxas compared to this. This is all a bit, yeah. I mean, that body's not the lightest thing in the world, so it doesn't help. But yeah, I'm definitely making improvements on the new one. So that one's good. So things are working out. I mean, I'm getting these parts and they seem to be lasting, so they're good. The next one would be, the wheels are a little bit funky, but this is just basically to give you an idea of what I've done so far. And I've got him low, really low. He still needs a bit of tweaking and a bit of work to it, but you can definitely see he's almost sitting on the ground there. So I've basically plastic welded the roof down, so it's not pretty at the moment. It's plastic welded, but it's on there. Needs a bit of cleaning up, but I've managed to drop the roof line down. Yeah, the front isn't great, but we can clean that up, make it look a lot better. But it is in the right place. I've had to trim the arches out, so we're going to replace those with aftermarket pieces anyway, which are going to be wider than the originals, which will go over the wheels better, look better. And then it's a matter of building up the inside, trying to get some sort of drive in here to drive this cog. And we will have a low four-wheel drive absolute ripper of a Land Rover. So that will be fun. And those seats that I've got for it will actually go in. So this whole unit will actually go in there as well as it is. Don't quite know how I'm going to work out the interior, the electrics and everything when this is in there, because this is all pretty close. But it will go in there with it as it is. So we'll continue with that at some point, and that's going to be a good one. So that's coming along. We'll put that over there. Now let's get back to the new one. Now I've got the whole top table all dirty and muddy from the other ones. Let's get back to the new one and I'll show you some parts that I've got in for this. One of them being another GDS part in a blue and 2 servos. So they're not the Traxxas ones, they are aftermarket servos. And the reason they're in there now is because I did have to do a tiny little bit of trim down the sides of these and the metal on this bracket to get them to actually go in, because they were very tight. And that's the reason they haven't got any bolts. I don't know if you can see that. I haven't got any bolts in there because they don't need them because they are so snug and tight in there. They are in the right place, but they are just so tight. I've got them in and they're in there now. So that's where they're staying. If they break, they break, and I'll have to just figure out how to get some more in there. But that's all good for now. So that needs to go in. So that will slot in sort of somewhere in there. I've got another servo for the gears and the servo horn on the top. Again, if you can probably see if it'll focus on there, it says 25T in there. That's not the right size for this servo. So yeah, I got these servo horns and they were the wrong size for these servos, so I've had to shim them to get them to fit. So I basically just took the standard plastic horns they give you with these servos, and I've trimmed and shaped and molded them into this horn, and they both work very well. They both work as they basically just created a shim for it, a spacer. So now it fits, and that will fit in there. And to make that fit, I also got this piece. So you might recognize the name on this because I used a lot of these parts on the UDR, and it's the GPM. So this piece is basically what holds that small one there, and that's your gear change for the gearbox for low and high. So that's almost all the pieces we need to connect this thing connected up. The only other things are for the motor, so the motor plate and the top motor plate, and then it's just wheels, and we will be just almost there. And then it's electrics, which I might have mentioned before. I might be tempted to take them out of the Jeep because at the moment you know the Jeep's obviously broken, so I might be tempted to just borrow the parts from that. I mean, we want to get this thing going, so let's borrow the parts and get it running, see what it's like, see how it works, and then we can down the road get the ones individually for this, and we'll get that done. But for now, that's it. Next video, we'll get these parts fitted, get all this buttoned up, and I'll give you an update on the green one again, the green Land Rover, to what I've done with that since this video. So for now, I will say goodbye and see you later. And remember, one piece at a time. You can also build one of these and get everything that you need in one package. So bye bye for now.